Your assignment is to plan an essay. I have provided what I'm calling a template. It's not actually a template as it would be defined, but what I've done is set up a document in Word so that you can go in and fill in the blanks, so to speak. If the formatting is disrupted, don't despair. That's not nearly so important as is including the information. Notice what you're to include. First of all, in the header, you are to include your last name. Change that. You're obviously going to change your name to your name, your section number, the date. Choose a title that's appropriate for the topic. You can use something descriptive. You can simply choose your topic, but it functions in much the same way that the hook functions, getting the reader's attention, telling them what is to come. You're to have a thesis, which tells what the topic is, and ours is not an argumentative essay. If it were, you would include position, but you include the topic and the 3 points of support in the order that you're going to discuss them in the body. Our purpose is to inform the organizational strategy, chronological, emphatic, spatial, for the 3 body paragraphs, the order of the body paragraphs. Then for each body paragraph, what is the topic? What type of development are you describing, using illustrations? Are you telling a story? And the organizational strategy, chronological, spatial, order of importance. Why did you choose this type of development? What went through your head to make that choice? Then, what support are you going to provide? You may only have 2, shoot for 3. How do you support this idea? What evidence or illustrations can you use? And what kind of detail can you use to support that? Think in terms of helping your readers see. You may include the sensory detail in some of these detail items, but you also are to include it as a separate item. How can you appeal to the senses? Sight, sound, taste, touch. You don't actually have to say, we see things, but what do you see? Or what kinds of things would you hear? Think in terms of how you can appeal to the senses so that your reader can experience. You do the same thing for all 3 body paragraphs. What is the topic? What type of development? Go back to the information about paragraphs if you need to. What organizational strategy? And then for the conclusion, what point are you making? What is the point of the paper? Answer the question, so what? How can you relate it to some larger context? Explain that. What is your strategy? And give an example of that strategy. For the introduction, the strategy for the hook, and provide 2 possible hooks, that is, examples for the opening. Again, you may use 2 different strategies and a hook for each, and you may, on the other hand, choose 1 strategy and 2 possible hooks using that strategy. Now I'm going to scroll down because I went ahead and attached to the paper the rubric. It is available as a separate item, but it's also available as a part of the paper. So notice, most of them have very low point values, but it's 100 points. So do you include what your topic is? Do you have a title? Have you stated your thesis? It's not, I'm going to talk about, but you've made a statement of your position. Do you tell what the main point is? Do you have 3 points of support? And does the order of the paragraphs in the body equal the order of the topics in the thesis? Have you provided organizational strategies for the body paragraphs? Is the whole body organized chronologically, emphatically, or spatially? For each one, what support have you provided? Support that connects it to the thesis? How are you developing it? Description, narrative, illustration. How are you organizing it? Chronologically, order of importance, why did you organize it that way, do you provide sensory detail, and do you provide a transition. For the same thing for all three body paragraphs, and then for the conclusion, what is the point of your paper? Do you establish a connection to some larger context? Do you have a strategy with examples? And do you have for the introduction a strategy and 2 examples? Those are the things that I will look for and check in your paper. So this template is attached to the assignment. You can open it. If I were going to write the paper, I can go in, I can highlight, and then I can type in. When I downloaded it, it had an option to enable or not enable editing, and I didn't enable editing. But all you have to do is highlight the word and then type in your information. Again, if the formatting is skewed, that's not nearly so important as the fact that you include the information in the order that it's requested. If you have questions, please let me know.